It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and Merry Christmas on this, the 25th day of December, 2023, coming to you from Bedford County, Monday's Travel and Cruise Industry News Podcast. So, welcome aboard. Good morning, Mike. Mike's with us over on the other side of the pond. Do have a couple stories this morning. Got a couple things to cover, so it's not going to be a completely wasted day. The headlines today: a stowaway cat finds a new home. So that's the cruising Christmas story today. Morimoto at sea opens on the Nieuw Amsterdam. Carnival raises water prices again. Inaugural sailing for the Jubilee. And some enhancements from Carnival. So we got three Carnival stories, one good, one bad, and one celebratory. And lots more here at 11 o'clock this morning. Of course, today is Christmas Day. So we're not going to celebrate any food, because there's plenty of that around. We had our Christmas dinner last night. I've got a couple people in the chat room I see. Mike's here, hot air. Tom's here. Good to see you guys. And happy holidays to all of you and your families. We did our Christmas dinner last night. Amanda slaved herself to death and put out a wonderful spread. And in case Casey or any of you guys on the last cruise with me are watching today, we decanted the wine before we had it last night. So I'm just learning about wines, folks, from my cruising pals. Anyway, it was a nice spread, traditional, turkey dinner. I like it. We'll probably do the same thing today. So if you're listening via the podcast, welcome aboard. You can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. Anytime you're listening and want to jump over to the video feed to see pictures or clips or anything like that, there's always a link in the description of the podcast, so you can accomplish that fact. All right, I did get a chance to talk to a couple people yesterday. Elizabeth is in Puerto Montt, Chile. And I said, well, where the hell's my pictures? So I haven't heard back from her yet, but was hoping to get some Chile pictures from Elizabeth. And I also need to find out when she is going home, because I think when her contract's up, she'll be going back to Cozumel. Probably be before I'm there again, but still want to know that. This one was pretty cool. I had a really long conversation with Rochelle yesterday. And when I say conversation, folks, I mean, we were chatting online. I didn't pick up the phone and call her or anything, George or me. But we went back and forth. And of course, she's one of my gambling gurus. I mean, she knows how to work the system, and she does as good a job as anybody that I've ever seen before. But this is what she's just booked on. This is on, what ship was it? It was on Jewel of the Seas, Royal Caribbean's Jewel of the Seas, 11 days from Singapore. No, 11 days sailing from Bali, going to Indonesia, Malaysia, Vietnam, Thailand, 11 nights, 11 days. And then as back to back, she's doing 11 more days, going to Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia, the Philippines, and Taiwan. And then the third of the back to back, She's going from Taiwan to Japan, a bunch of places in Japan, and ends up in Tokyo. Now, how's that for a nice little? That's going to take care of most of the month of February for her and into March. So, I mean, that's pretty awesome, I think. All right, from a news standpoint, folks, and I've debated how to do this or whether to do this, and I just decided that I'm going to jump in with both feet. So starting now, I'm going to be promoting chilliescruises. Cruise with Chillie. Yeah, that sounds good. Cruise with Chillie. I'm going to do these, folks, like a hosted cruise. Only it's not going to be just for solos. It'll be open to solos. I'll have solo rates. It'll also be open to couples. And we'll still do much of the same things that I do on my regular cruises. All right, on the regular hosted cruises. I'll do my breakfast club every morning. In case people want to get up and come to breakfast with me, fine. Come have a cup of coffee, fine. Stop by and see what we're doing for the day, fine. You can take it or leave it, as much as you want, as little as you want. Then, of course, 11 o'clock every day, I'm going to do my show, like always, no matter where I am in the world. So you're always welcome to come by and yell at me while I'm on the air. I mean, everybody that watches this show knows that happens, and we like it. Before dinner, we'll get together and have cocktails someplace. You know, it's nice when we do it in the solo lounge, but I'm sure I can find a place that we can meet for pre-dinner cocktails. And I'm sure I can make some contact on the ships if we need help on group reservations or group shows or any of those things. I'm pretty sure I can get assistance with that. So we can book some cruises together, book some shows together, book some dinners together. What else? If there are 2 days at sea, the first sea day we'll do a slot pull. And I'll try to keep it to no more than 20 people. And if we fill it up, fine. If we don't, we'll open it up to anybody else that's on the boat if they want to join us. And then if there's 2 sea days, on the second sea days, we'll do a bar crawl. And that's where we meet at a bar and just go from bar to bar to bar and have a drink. Some people cheat and don't drink at each one, but that's okay. Anyway, it's going to be cruising with Chillie. All right. So the first one that I'm going to do, and I'm quite frankly, folks, these are all going to be on ships that I've not been on before. I will have no guarantees of what we're going to find, but we'll find it out together. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, it'll be good to get opinions from folks on the group, in the group. Come on with it. So the first one is going to be an MSC because they're running a really nice special right now on the Magnifica, April the 8th, out of Miami. Now, this is a shorter cruise, folks. It's only a 4-nighter. But it's priced right. The prices start as low as $229 or $339 for everything. The drinks package, Wi-Fi, and onboard credits. I mean, the onboard credit knocked off the $339. Give me a break. One thing that I didn't check on that is, does that include the taxes and port charges? I don't know. I got to check on that. That's on page 2, and I'm still on page 1, folks. They can't be that much. And of course, it goes up. The solos start at $478 with everything. All right, not a bad price. Now, it's a 4-nighter, folks. It's not a 7-nighter. But if you absolutely don't want to do 4, you can add 3 more on. because there's a 3-nighter right behind it on the same ship. So you can turn it into a 7-nighter pretty easily in the same cabin. Okay, so there's that as an option. There's also in Miami, that day or the next day, you could switch over and take another ship if you want. Now, what will I do? I'll probably, and I don't know yet, but I'll probably stay on the same ship for 7. But it's the way it's broken down. It's a 4 and then a 3. And that's where I'm going to do that. So I'll get it up on the chilliescruises Facebook page. I'll get it up, as we start getting into this. But if you're interested, let me know, folks. I'll take care of everything. We'll get you hooked right up on MSC Magnifica in April. So that's going to be the start of it. Hot Air Tom, would you care if we turn our fall cruise that you and I are taking maybe into and invite some other folks to join us on that if they'd like? I think that would be a nice add-on too for Sail with Chillie. It'd be Sail with Chillie and Hot Air Tom. So that's the one we're going up to Quebec. So if you're interested, folks, let's do it. Let's get together and sail together. All right. That takes care of the news and announcement portions. So join me on April the 8th. Today is T-minus 86. I'm at whatever that is, 4,914. So I need 86 more subscribers to hit the $5,000 mark. And then they tell me my subscription thing just explodes at 5,000. I don't know if that's true or not, but it would be nice if it does. So we're at T-minus 86. Also, smash that like button if you haven't done it already. That helps me out a lot. If you do subscribe, and this is my invitation for you to subscribe, hit the bell notification. I'll tell you when I go live or when a new video is posted. Okay, on to the first news story for the day, folks. The top story today, there was a furry stowaway discovered on board Royal Caribbean's Ovation of the Sea in late October, and it now has a new family and a new home for the holidays. After some protracted work with animal import authorities, the ocean-going cat, now named Ovi, has been adopted by a Royal Caribbean guest service team member in Florida. In October, as Ovation of the Seas was finishing a one-way 19-night cruise from Honolulu to Sydney, the cat was discovered on board with no proper biosecurity clearance for the international sailing. That caused quite a sensation in New Zealand when the authorities discovered this furry critter, and nobody on the crew knew about it, weren't aware of the cat's presence whatsoever. And then they had to go through all sorts of shenanigans so they could even land in New Zealand. And the captain had to take possession of the cat and be responsible for it in his cabin. And there's all sorts of craziness with it. However, the bottom line is Ovi has a new home halfway around the world from where he was discovered. Royal Caribbean International President and CEO recently gave an update on Ovi via social media, confirming the cat's return to the U.S. and his newly adopted status. It's believed the cat originated from Arizona, though the cruise line has not commented on this. From Arizona first to Honolulu to board the Ovation of the Seas, then to New Zealand, then to Miami. this well-traveled feline has more than 16,000 miles under his paws. How about that for a Christmas story for 2023? I like it. And I'll be back after a quick break from one of our network sponsors. All right, we go from something interesting to something good. Morimoto by Sea, Holland America's newest specialty restaurant, officially opened its doors aboard the Nieuw Amsterdam this past week. Morimoto by Sea is the first standalone restaurant at sea by Iron Chef Masahiro Morimoto, who also serves as the cruise line's fresh fish ambassador, which is part of the brand's global fresh fish program. Chef Morimoto was present for the opening night along with Holland America executives and Nieuw Amsterdam guests. During the opening celebration, Chef Morimoto conducted a traditional sake barrel ceremony where he cracked open the barrel and shared the sake with opening night attendees for a toast. Cheers to Chef Morimoto. This isn't sake, however. I don't like sake. All right, and of course, you know, we've been following this along forever. Carnival Cruise Line is once again, oh no, that's not right. Let me go to this one first. Carnival Cruise Line guests there we go. Carnival Jubilee has welcomed their very first guests on board and set sail on her inaugural cruise from Galveston, bringing bigger than ever fun to the Lone Star State and the growing Carnival Cruise Line to new heights. Cruise line and port executives were on hand for the momentous occasion, made even more exciting by the fact that Carnival Jubilee's first sailing is a very special holiday cruise with Santa and Mrs. Claus. No reindeer, however. They didn't let them on the boat. At 4 p.m. on Saturday, Carnival Jubilee officially set sail on her maiden voyage with 6,000 guests on board. Going to be a little busy. All right, Carnival has once again increased the price of one of its most popular beverages, a bottled water. In less than 2 years, the price of a 12-pack of bottled water has increased by 141%, with two separate price increases. The larger 1.5-liter bottles have also increased in price, as have the 8-packs of the larger bottles. Carnival Cruise Line guests will now have to pay even more if they wish to buy the cruise line's bottled water and have it delivered to their stateroom. The natural spring water is now listed for sale on the website at $11.95 per 12-pack. That's for 16.9 ounces. While the 1.5 liter, that's 50.7 fluid ounces, is now $4.50. The 8-pack of 1.5 liters is now $24.95. Just over 1 year ago, the 12-pack of water was $4.95, making the latest increase a total of 141% in 13 months. Come on, Carnival. That's gouging. I mean, I think it is. All right, Carnival Cruise Line has also announced a series of new enhancements. Now, this is some good news, folks. Just in time for the new year, a dedicated cooking class with Chef Flagassi's favorites. Now, that'll be okay. It's going to be on board the Jubilee, possibly on several other ships. If you learn how to fix things like shrimp and okra gumbo, I like that. Chef tables revamped with a new menu and wine selections. Carnival launched a new option for the chef's table, a VIP culinary experience featuring a multi-course dinner hosted by the executive chef. The experience starts with cocktails and hors d'oeuvres for the group of 14, followed by by a tour to see the galley in operation and dinner appetizers, entrees, and desserts. The Chef's Table 2.0 menu offerings are available fleet-wide. Behind the Fun ship tours are now available online. They'll be available for bookings pre-cruise on carnival.com starting January the 1st. The new option will be rolled out fleet-wide. And finally, the new Hub app feature, and this is to simplify the debarkation process, where you go on your app and you pick the time you want to leave the ship, and they deliver the luggage tags to your cabin, so you don't have to go pick them up someplace. And there's this, special luggage tags for VIP members and guests as well. So there's, Enhancements was good. Raising the Water sucked. And we can celebrate the kitty cat. All from Carnival today, here on Christmas Day, 2023. All right. Final news story today, folks. In a lawsuit filed in the U.S. Federal District Court on Wednesday, Robert Marchetta is claiming serious and permanent injury from a champagne cork sustained while he was aboard the Celebrity Edge in February of 2023. The suit alleges negligence on part of the cruise line, and Marchetta is seeking a minimum of $75,000 for damages due to his injuries. The incident is said to have taken place on February 2nd when the Celebrity Edge was just finishing an 11-night Southern Caribbean itinerary round trip from Fort Lauderdale. Marchetta claims that a champagne cork exploded through a wire cage on board, hitting his right eye and causing pain, mental and emotional distress, and anguish therefrom, and incurred medical expenses and physical handicap and a loss of the ability to enjoy life. All that from a champagne cork. The negligence on part of Celebrity Cruises is said to be related to the reasonable care necessary to store champagne properly, as well as to transport it safely to minimize the risk of accidents with decorking. Considering a champagne cork can pop out of a bottle at close to 30 miles an hour, depending on the handling, it could indeed cause an eye injury. I mean, that's possible. There's no details, however, of this gentleman actually receiving an eye injury. Now, maybe that'll come later in the court proceedings. It's also not known if he sought medical care while he was on the boat, or the circumstances of the bottle. Who decorked the champagne? Was it a waiter, or was it Marchetta himself? Those are all details we don't know about. They're unclear. Maybe we'll find out in time. Who knows? All right, this just in, folks. Literally just in this morning. A 41-year-old man went overboard from Vision of the Seas last night. According to multiple sources, it appears that the first information about the incident was posted yesterday evening. It's unclear exactly when the guest went in the water or when the Royal Caribbean notified the U.S. Coast Guard, but an announcement was made at 11:03 a.m. That they were searching for a man who went overboard 127 miles east of Charleston. There have been at least 24 people overboard this year alone. So, always a sad story, and a sad story to end today's news. All right. Let's go over and see who's here. I wasn't counting on a whole lot of people being here, folks, this being Christmas and all. But I was here in case anybody was sitting at home doing nothing. So I know Mike and Hot Air Tom are here. Steve's with us down in Kentucky. Hi, Steve. How about educating the rest of us? What is decanting? Decanting is when you open a bottle of wine and you pour it in a decanter and you let it breathe before you actually pour it. It's part of the celebration of opening a bottle of wine, I guess. Roger's with us. Hi, Roger. Merry Christmas from Florida. Our son Sam is making Korean salmon in hot pepper power and a turkey breast. Ooh, that's lovely. And we did a turkey breast. We didn't do a whole turkey. Before I was, there's plenty of turkey on a turkey breast and a hell of a lot less work. But the Korean salmon in hot pepper powder. Now that would be interesting. Elizabeth traveled all the way from the Med to Chile and didn't tell us. Well, she told me. I knew about it. I just wasn't getting any pictures or stuff from her as we went along. Well, there's Kim. Hi, Kim. Kim's with us. She's out in Oregon. It's good to have you with us, Kim. Oh, Hot Air Tom says he had a Facebook feed remembering 1989, and the picture was snow in Jacksonville. Gretchen's with us out in Ohio. Hi, Gretchen. Gretchen says, Chillie, we're in. That ought to be interesting. Thanks, Gretchen. Good to know. I'll send you information. Hot Air Tom says, Merry Christmas, Gretchen. Say the same to Cindy. I guess I might be Chillie's secretary for the 6 cruises we booked. Well, I could be too. It's 60 degrees here. Is this Ohio? Yeah, it's been remarkably warm here too. I didn't look this morning because I wasn't paying any attention, but I think it was going to be back in the 50s today here too. So it's been delightful weather, which, this time of year, it can be nasty. Personally, I don't mind it. There's Kenneth West up Pennsylvania and Emily up in, where's she? She's in New York. Hi, Em, and hi, Kenneth. Mike says hello to everybody. It's only me, Mom, and Fiona, and my sister, and my brother-in-law, and my niece. Well, that's more than I have here. And, of course, everybody's greeting everybody back and forth. How will you be getting to Miami for this? I am too tired to think about driving. The trip to Pennsylvania was grueling. How am I getting to Miami for the April? I don't know. I haven't thought about it yet. I will price it out on air, and I'll price it out on driving. And I don't know yet, Hot Air Tom. You're on page 2, and I'm just on page 1. I do like driving. I haven't driven to Miami this year. Haven't been out of Miami this year. Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have. I flew to Miami once, and I drove to Miami once. Anyway, seeing people here from the Zoom, happy hour during COVID. It's been a long time, but fun to see you all. And Kim, you're always welcome here. We still do this every day. Roger says, Tom, it was December 19th, 1989, last appreciable snowstorm in Jacksonville. Cindy says that a group cruise on Sky would be good for me. Prices are not so good, though, so might not be a good draw. I got to price it out. I haven't looked at that hot air, Tom. And I know, I mean, that's not necessarily the cheapest cruise, and it's not necessarily, we're looking totally for cheap cruises. I mean, it's nice the cheaper we can get them. Gretchen says, Chillie get a cruise to Mykonos, Santorini, or Palmyra, or Sicily, anywhere. That's what I'm sort of looking for. Otherwise, small trip to the Caribbean. Okay? Well, I'm sure we can come up with a Greek island cruise too, Gretchen. But I can work on that. Let me make a note of that one. Where'd my pen go? Hi there, Tom. What'd you do with my pen if you're going to be my secretary? Oh, there it is. Gretchen. Greece. Okay. I'll look, see what I can find. See if I can find something good. Did you hear right that the ship might be going to Quebec? Okay, so here is the cruise that Hot Air Tom and I are taking. And again, folks, I haven't priced this out on as a group cruise yet. It's on the Norwegian Sky. No, it's not. It's on the Norwegian Sky from Baltimore. It stops at Boston, Bar Harbor, St. John, Halifax, Sydney, Charlottetown, Saguenay, and Quebec. And then the return goes from Quebec to New York. So, I mean, you have two options there, folks. You could do the 11 days from Baltimore to Quebec, or you could do the 10 days from Quebec to New York, or you could do both. Like Hot Air Tom and I are going to do. And I'll get that all priced out. It gives me something to do during the holidays. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll figure it out. But yeah, it goes to Quebec. And so I have to learn French by then. Parlez-vous français? Maybe I'll talk to my Canadian friends about learning French overnight. How's that? Yeah, no, I know a little French. I don't know a lot of French, but I know how to ask for the bathroom. And I know how to ask if somebody wants, never mind now what I know how to ask. All right. We were booked April 8th, 2024, going to Rome on the escape from New York. Maybe I could kidnap Chillie for a long cruise, 16 days. No, April 8th. That's when I'm doing this one, Hot Air Tom. April 8th. Sorry. Love the 15 days. So I get to max stockholder OBC. Onboard credit 250. Yeah, that's nice. Chillie Cruises. How about back-to-back on NCL Jewel? Vancouver to Seward and back. Departs June 10th. Ooh. Now that happens to be one that I'm looking for something in that framework. Now I'll see what Nate has come up with, but that's on the Jewel. Okay. Hot Air Tom comes right up with one other thing that I've been trying to get lined up. So Jewel, and that's on June 10th. And that's from Vancouver. Good, that's from Vancouver also, which is where I wanted to do it from. So there's another one. There's three we can look at for Sail with Chillies. We're on our way, folks. Having a cloudy but 50-degree weather. Gretchen says April 8th is one of our daughter-in-law's birthdays, and the eclipse, which is coincidentally coming right through here. So our day is booked. Oh, sorry. Well, I mean, I'm not sorry about that. But yeah, having an eclipse, that's pretty cool. Interestingly, the itinerary for the first cruise had a change and added Glacier Bay, replacing Icy Strait Point. Seemed like a very good itinerary change. Well, I mean, I like sailing in Glacier Bay. I like Icy Strait Point. Actually, I like both of them. There's not a whole lot to do in Icy Strait Point, but it's a nice stop. I mean, I mean, I'd get off any ports in Alaska, and love them, even if I'm just rolling around the port for a few minutes. I love it up there. We have an aft penthouse suite on the Jewel. Very nice. Gretchen says, how do you like uh, aft cabins, Tom? I'm skeptical. He loves them. Doug Parker's on Jubilee. We should see some news from him. Yeah, they can. Some of those guys can get on this expensive cruises. I can't afford them, but maybe if I start doing the groups like this, I'll be able to get closer to affording them. M says, have you been sailing on penthouses? You've been sailing on penthouses for a while now. Yeah, he has. It seems like it would be nice, but I tend to like forward or midship. Uh, I don't mind. Well, of course, I like anywhere on the ship. I don't care. It doesn't. That's the least of my worries on a ship is where the cabin is. I just don't care. As long as I'm on the boat, I'm happy. And I've not had bad cruises on any of them. I also don't care about whether they're inside or outside or upside down or anywhere. Um, the forward cabins look crazy though. Too much wind. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're in a balcony, it'd be windy as hell. The aft penthouses, when the price is good, our first was on the uh, our first was on the Dawn, departing San Juan over Thanksgiving. After Marina hit the island, got the cabin via the bid upgrade program. Gretchen says if you get a serious injury from a champagne bottle, it's time to stop drinking. I agree. I mean, I realize that you can get hurt with a champagne cork, but I just found it humorous that was the biggest lawsuit of the year against a cruise line. I mean, come on. From a champagne cork, I don't think so. I've only had ceilings damaged by champagne corks. Yeah, you pop them into the soft stuff up there. um, Gretchen says they offered her one too. It's interesting when they pop without touching the cork. I had one on a ship pop as soon as I loosened the twist wire. I've had one time that it popped when you loosened the wire, but it didn't go anywhere. I mean, the wire kind of slowed it down. So I'm not sure about this thing exploding with the wire, like the wire took off like a rocket. I think that might be a little bit of an exaggeration. Wine that breathes tastes different. That's what they say. I'm not an expert enough to know about that. No snow in New York. Yeah, I don't think anybody had White Christmas. Well, I'm sure somebody up in the mountains did out west. But anyway, Gretchen says, not that I care anymore, but when she worked on the Queen Mary, she studied that. Now that's good. Green Christmas tree. Yeah, they have some of those. It's not even cold here. I agree. There's Dennis. Dennis is out over there in Greece. Always good to hear from you, Dennis. Glad to have you here on Christmas Day. Cruises to Canada from Miami. No, it's from Baltimore. And the cruise to Quebec from Baltimore, Maryland. Bringing home some fresh Amish treats, whoopie pies, and apple butter. Yeah, Tom, I imagine you're going to get some of that while you're there, I would think. My cruise is March 2025, leaves from Miami. Liv Morgan is here. Hey, glad to have you with us. Kim says, luckily you have the option to drive. I'm on 23-day MSC Splendida out of Durban, South Africa. Wow, air is horrible, I can imagine. Then with the war, who knows if the cruise is canceled. Yeah, but man, what a great trip that'll be, Kim. You'll have to post lots of pictures on that one. I've not been on Splendida, but again, I like MSC, guys, and from the most important things to me on ships, they're horrible. I mean, they're terrible on accessibility. I still love the cruise line. Yeah, I want to see them get better at that, but I'll keep working with them because I like the line. I'm not going to shut them off because the people that designed the boats didn't know what they were doing as far as accessibility goes. Yeah, they got to get better on the newer ones. So that's just a matter of time. Hot Air says, we have some whoopie pies in the room, red velvet, and a chocolate with peanut butter filling. Emily says, hello to Kim. Pumpkin whoopie pies are delicious too. Gretchen says, I'd like Quebec to New York. Okay. I mean, that's doable. And that misses your what you call it? yeah. What am I trying to say? Your eclipse. Wow. Struggled to get that one out. QU in French is K, not KW. Quebec. Otter says it's all Greek to him. I'll have to stay at the Frontenac. Well, that's a possibility too. Hot Air says, where is the Albania? Where is the Albania? My go-to. Yeah, that's the bathroom. Learn Parisian French. Canadian French is not standard. Tom, also try their apple dumplings. Robin and I would be interested in a group Greek cruise or a group on a Hawaiian cruise. Okay. All those things are good to know because I'm going to start, working with people, folks. I've got to become more profitable, quite frankly, with what I do to continue doing what I love to do. So I talked to Jason a couple days ago about trying to get a bourbon sponsor. I thought that would be pretty cool because I could do a lot with that. And he said, Dad, they're not going to sponsor a small person like you. I mean, they go for either no advertising or the multi-million-dollar things that go on network television. They're not going to mess with, your little channel. I said, okay, well, it was a suggestion. So come up with a replacement. I just thought it would be cool because I could go, to bars and say, let's say if Woodford Reserve was my sponsor, go to the bar and have a Woodford Sour and sit there and film the bartender making it. I thought that would be just a nice feature, not to mention, the advertising during the show and that kind of thing. Oh, it was a terrific idea. Still think it's a terrific idea. Quebec. Quebec. Okay. Quebec. Thanks, Dennis, as always. Dennis is going to keep me straight. I heard this zip line in Icy Strait is awesome. Yeah, the only problem with zip lines, Kim, and what am I going to do with my chair? I don't know if I could get on a zip line. I've never done a zip line. There is a zip line someplace. Where was that? That has an accessible zip line, and what they do, they prepare staff so they can take the chair and put it on a zip line, and it zips down with you when you get on off your chair onto whatever zip line thing works. They put the chair right next to you. Both of you zip down the mountain. They have somebody at the bottom to meet you and take the chair over to you so you can get off the zip line back onto the chair. That's done. So I want to think that's in Jamaica someplace. I've not done it, but I'd try it. Emily says, I took French in school. I've been to Quebec and France, and my aunt and 2 cousins are from France. Oh, very nice. 250-day cruise with Chillie. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, let's put that on the back burner. And if I could come up with it, I'd sure do it. Du venez-vous, Denise? Gretchen wants to know. We had an aft balcony on the Princess for the Panama Canal, and it was amazing. Best balcony you can get. Good to know, Dennis. Same here, M. Learned at school and spent many weekends with parents while my sister was at the university there and was only allowed to speak French when visiting. Very nice. That sounds good, Kenneth. They say to let the wine breathe before you pour it. Yep. We like cabins on the side of the retreat pool on Princess. Very cool. Emily says, love opening my door the morning to the pool. Yeah, that's nice. I have to admit, that's nice. Cruises, are you concerned at all that we don't have ADA cabin on Sky? Not sure what we will do with the wheelchair. Yeah, a little. That's problematic. I haven't checked on the exact width of the door, but if I can get it in the cabin, I'll get it somewhere. So, but yeah, that's a little troubling. And I don't know. I'll make it work. I'll see if I can work something out to where I can put the chair and charge it and those kind of things. But I'll work on it. Hot air. We have Amtrak tickets booked already on Sky, Richmond to Baltimore in business class, and New York to Richmond on a sleeper car. I hope I can climb the ladder to the top bunk. You don't have to do that. Just give me the chair. I'm good in the chair. I'm waiting for my whoopie pies, Emily says. Yeah, I don't blame you, Em. Kim says hello to Emily, too. Steve's whoopie pies from Maine are delicious, and they deliver. Oh, that's pretty cool. Didn't know anybody delivered whoopie pies. Emily says, does Steve deliver to New York? Chillie, try this. Queska. Laugh out loud. Case Cassay. Case Cassay. Case Cassay. Oh, there was it. I was trying to do it on my own. Case Cassay. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to zip line due to my metal hips. I got metal hips too. I didn't even know that might be a problem. So, anyway, all right, guys, that's going to wrap me up here. I'm getting ready to go in for a late breakfast with the family here on Christmas morning. Guys, thank you all for being here. This was awesome. I thought, I would do the show today for maybe one or two people that, were sitting around with nothing to do this morning, because that happens. And then everybody gets busy during the day. So, but wow, I appreciate all of y'all being here. All right, that's going to wrap it up for today. I'll be back here tomorrow, same time, same channel, with all the latest news on Tuesday. Travel and cruise industry news with the old fat travel guy. As always, folks, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising. And hopefully one day soon, we're going to all start cruising together on, Cruise with Chillie. That's awesome. Have a great day, everybody. See you tomorrow, and Merry Christmas.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chilliescruises.